There are 3 bags I would like to review. I think all of them look amazing for summer, even though I personally believe these are all season colors. We are going into colder seasons down here in the Southern Hemisphere, and I know that those of you in the North are going into the warmer climate. So Hermes, Loewe, the puzzle Hobo over here, the Herbag, and the Marwari bag. I'm going to start with the middle. Although it has a reputation of being what people call the poor man's Kelly or the poor person's Kelly, I think that's a very unfortunate tag for it, because it is deserving of its own merit, namely being a very casual bag as opposed to the very rather formal 1950s, which is consistent with the lifestyle at the time, the fashion at the time. People are a bit more formal. People wear hats and gloves and suits on a daily basis. We don't as much now. Even the tie is slowly disappearing. It is only sticking around for conservative professions such as the law. This is more than just a casual version of it or a cheaper version of it. This really is a completely different bag. And this is why, although I have several Kelly bags, this one hasn't worked for me. And I made the mistake of thinking that because the Kelly bag worked for me, this will be just like it, but it isn't. The Birkin bag is a lot more practical because it has opening at the top, but it is also looks a little bit more casual in a different video. So let me focus on why this hasn't worked for me, and I wonder if any of you have the same experience. The biggest mistake you could do is to think that if you can make the Kelly work, if you think the Kelly bag is your bag, that this might work for you. And it hasn't, simply because of the locking mechanism. So in the Kelly bag, you would close the flap and you would turn the lock, and that bag is secured. Here, when you close this, you have to put the strap in for it to be secure. Otherwise, it'll go out. And once this goes out, the only thing keeping the bag together is this particular portion of the bag locking. It's not even locking. There's a little knot over here, over up there. Let me give you a close up. There's a little knot up here. You can see there. That resists the whole front flap from going over. That is it. This is all you have to secure the bag. And so, let me zoom out. And if you notice, all the handle here is all resting in this pole. The whole bag is resting around this pole over here. I'm going to call it a pole. I'm sure there's an actual name for it. And so the weight pushed that way, and all your stuff in here will push downward. And that combination between the pull while you carry the bag, whether it's by the handle or by the straps on your shoulder, it's still pulling from this particular part here. That pull and the pull off the bottom of the bag with your stuff in it help locked, well, not lock, but help this, put this in place like so. So you go in, and then there is a little resistance there, and that's it. I did think that I could do this and then push the leather strap here to keep it in place without closing the flap. But of course, because this is locking, unless I'm missing something, let me know if I'm missing something, because there's a hole here, and I thought, is that hole going somewhere? So I put it in there, but because it's friction fit, there isn't enough thickness here. There's only one layer in the slot, which is this one here, and this leather here. It won't keep it in place. This will come loose like that. Not even if you put both in. Even if you put both in, it will still come loose, because there isn't enough thickness to hold the whole construction together. Because remember, it's friction fit, right? Like that. Okay, so that's loose. Without this flap, this is loose. So then when you carry it, zoom out, it can easily, with stuff in here, this is empty, that's coming off already. So again, you ended up with carrying your bag literally like this. And so all day the other day, I carried the bag this way with everything, because otherwise, the other option is you have to stand the bag on a surface and put everything together. 1, 2, and as you can see here, it's very fiddly. Strap, strap. You can do this, but you literally have to stop and do this. And sometimes you don't even... It is a byproduct of a time when restrooms are not just toilets. They are actual restrooms with tables where you can powder your nose and you can retouch your perfume, and you can smoke a little bit, chit-chat a little bit before you come out, where grooming is not done in public. So now we are already having this issue here. This is just an example. You can see why this is not working for me. So that's twisted. So you put your stuff in there, you put it, and this is with an insert, which now you imagine doing this every time you need to reach into your bag. I mean, that speaks for itself. Now it stays put because now you have 1, 2, 3 layers in. Without all 3, 1, 2, 3, this won't stay put. And so unless you put all 3, unless you have all the time in the world to put all 3, the only way for you to keep this secure is to do this and hope for the best. And sometimes, of course, depending on how heavy you carry this, that flaps open and you ended up carrying your bag like this.